We'll close it with our fourth topic here today. Recently announced, but Mike, I know this is a controversial creator for you and me. Tom King announced that he will be on yet another Batman project. He ran the Batman comic for about 85 issues. He did a 6-issue series after that. I think it was Batman Killing Time around the time the Batman came out. And then he always has Batman guest star in these series. Um, it's interesting. Tom King's probably the creator that I have had the most U-turn on in that when he wrote his Vision series, his Mr. Miracle series, and the first 40 something issues of Batman, I was probably as close to a fanboy of a writer as there was for Tom King. And then Batman 50 happened with the wedding fake out. And that was kind of one of those moments where it permanently scars things, and he never recovered from that. And to be honest, to me, he hasn't. What are your thoughts on Tom King getting another crack on Batman? How do you feel about him as a writer overall? Where are you at on this whole thing?
I dropped Batman from my pull list. Um, I think it was 2018,
Yeah, the
when,
wedding fake out, I think, yeah, 2018 issues that was.
2017, 2018. After the wedding thing,
Mhm.
and I haven't put him back on my pull list since then. And then he did that weird mini series,
Heroes in Crisis with
Heroes in
Paul Newman.
Crisis. I was all excited for it. I signed up for it. I thought it was going to be great. It was a neat concept the way it was teased, but
Hmm.
I didn't enjoy the way that was
Now
done.
it's hard to enjoy
I
a
don't
story where
know.
you
I
make
don't know.
Wally
I've
West
heard that,
a murderer. Yeah.
I have heard that really wasn't his idea. That editorially they said that you have to create this story or whatever. So I'm not the biggest Tom King fan anymore, but I do have friends that hold him in very high regard. And I will say the first part of that Batman run that he did was very good.
Hmm.
Um, Putting him back on Batman, I don't know, I'm 50-50. Like, could he put it back into gear with the old Tom King and hit it out of the park again? I'm sure he could. Will it be that way, or will the editors get in the way? I don't know.
Yeah, my thing is, look, I hold the first 30, 40 issues of his Batman in high regard still, even though it fell off the rails.
Yeah.
Um, his Mr. Miracle series was fantastic. His Vision comic book, one of my favorite comic books since been written the last 20 years. But he fell off. He fell off with Batman. And to me, this is kind of we always got to work a sports analogy in. This is like a team that had a quarterback who was good and then had 3 bad seasons, made the team lose every game, and they released the quarterback. And now 3 years later, like, hey, we're signing that quarterback again. It's like, no, we don't need that. And I know that Tom King has a love for Batman as a writer, at least he says he does, but he's just a weird writer, and I think even the ones that worked for him, he's obsessed with doing these psychological think piece kind of comic books. And it's something that I think you and I have grown to hate in the medium, and that he's kind of, in my opinion, now he's a wannabe Alan Moore. And the thing is, Alan Moore was at least smart enough most of the time to grab concepts that really weren't. He didn't write the main Superman title for a long time. He didn't write the main Bat. He wrote Swamp Thing, and he wrote, Watchmen, and he wrote League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and V for Vendetta. He kind of went to where his thing was, and yes, he dabbled with the Killing Joke and stuff like that. Tom King seems to want to write the main continuity superheroes, but do it with the deconstruction of Alan Moore. And while that's really interesting when you have an android examining his humanity like the Vision comic book did, which is great, doesn't work so well for Batman. And it doesn't work so well for what he did to Adam Strange, where he turned him into like a war criminal terrorist who gets murdered by his wife. What he did to Mr. Terrific, where he revealed that Mr. Terrific was like almost relieved that his wife and unborn child died because he wasn't looking forward to having it's there's weird he did the what was it, the Human Target, where he kind of embarrassed Martian Manhunter and had he was like impotent and stuff. It was just he tries to do these psychological examinations And they can be interesting if you have Vision or a Daredevil character like Mr. Miracle, as far as like what makes this guy want to escape death all the time, or how does this robot experience humanity? And his early Batman run was interesting because Bruce Wayne is a really interesting psychological character that you can delve into. What doesn't work is when you build all that up and then you do a rug pull at the end and go, oh, never mind. All that development was fake. And so I have no excitement for it. Well, I pick it up probably because it's going to have Batman on the cover and I'll see it and I'll go, no, I don't want to. But eventually I'm going to see a Batman #1 and be dang hard not to grab it. But it's Tom King to me. I think it's just run its course, and sadly, he seems to be really integrated with the DC universe too. Again, I'll never trash him all the way because, despite not liking a lot, I still think that
He's done
Vision
some
comic
great
book is
he's done some great stuff. And
yeah,
and like you said, I think those kind of deep dive psychological things are a once in a while kind of thing. If you're doing that with every character all the time, but on occasion, you could do a psychoanalyst type series for Bruce Wayne. It works well, right?
yeah,
It's an interesting character. But yeah, deconstruction, I hope, is over.
yeah.
It's been around for a long time. The Dark Universe did not translate the deconstruction ist kind of thing, did not translate to the movie screen.
Mm-mm.
And that's why the DCEU did not do very well. And so I think that was the salvo across the bow that made some people understand that we got to go a different way.
Yeah. No, I think we're in a place now with comic books and superheroes where it does seem to be people are wanting a little more light and a little more fun. And I think, that's what Ultimate Spider-Man's done. I think Absolute Batman, despite being a little dark as a comic book, is more bombastic action and stuff like that. I think we are at a pivot point with comic books where, and so maybe Tom King can, like we've seen athletes do, find a second win. Maybe he's like, you know what? I've done all those type of stories. Maybe this will be his, hey man, I'm going to return to Batman and do a fun action event. Maybe he will. And I'll be honest, I'm not rooting against him. I want it to succeed. Look, like you said, as much as I don't like what he's done recently, that Vision comic book, the Mr. Miracle, the first 30 issues of Batman or so, they're great. They're some of the best comics I've ever read. If he can bring that back, maybe like we've seen with so many athletes, where they're great for a couple of years and then they fall and then they get traded to the right team and they turn their career around, maybe he'll do that. I don't have a ton of excitement for it, but we will see how it works out. However, let us know what you guys think. Are you looking forward to Tom King running back on Batman? Do you have any optimism there? If you're still a Tom King fan who likes what he's doing, I know he's got his fans out there. Let us know what works you think are really good or where we may be missing something that might be wrong. As for that, folks, that'll be our last topic for this, our July comic book news. Hope you guys enjoyed. We look forward to your thoughts down below. Have a great month, folks. God bless you. We'll catch you in our next video.
Thanks, everybody.